Cambodia is blessed with some of the most fascinating temples ever made by humankind. A rich and successful empire flourished here between the 802 and 1431. Its capital, Angkor, was dotted by amazing temples of incredible sizes and artistic and architectural complexity. It took us 3 days to visit the most important 10 temples in this incredible site, so follow us in the discovery of this astonishing place. One of the most iconic temples in Angkor is the Bayon temple. The Bayon temple is the main structure in Angkor Thom, the city built by the most successful ruler of the Khmer Empire, Jayavarman VII. Angkor Thom was built at the end of the 12th century at the zenith of the Khmer Empire, and indeed it reflects its wealth. It is 9 square kilometers, and its square layout is surrounded by an impressive moat and mighty walls. 4 bridges situated at the corresponding cardinal points are sided by stunning Naga balustrades carried by giants which lead to spectacular gates. From the gates, 4 roads converge in the middle where the extraordinary Bayon temple is situated. The Bayon temple is more compact than the massive Angkor Wat.
Wow. Can you see all these faces?
But it impresses with the 200 plus Buddha faces carved on the numerous towers and the large bas-reliefs on the external galleries. The temple is surrounded by galleries decorated with finely detailed bas-reliefs, depicting battles, myth and everyday life. The aim is clear: show the triumph of Jayavarman VII and the power of the empire under his rule.
So this amazing bas-relief we find here in Bayon Temple depict the army of Jayavarman VII, the most successful of the kings of the Khmer Empire. Indeed brought empire to be at the peak of its expansions, defeating the Champa kingdom in modern southern Vietnam, the nemesis maybe of the Khmer Empire. And apparently, as you can see in this bas-relief, also Chinese troops were joining its army, which show actually a connection with the huge Chinese empire in the north. And the Bayon temple also was one of the last temples built in the capital, in Angkor Thom, and indeed is one of the few temples which was made about this purpose. It wasn't born for to worship Hindu gods, even though these two religions and culture are mixed here in Cambodia.
These in particular tells about the war within the neighboring Champa kingdom in modern-day South Vietnam. In an episode, the Champa's army went up to the Mekong River and faced the Khmers in a naval battle in the Tonle Sap. By looking at it, we can vividly imagine the harsh battle fought between the two factions.
Oh, check this out! On the western side of the south corridor of the Bayon Temple, here in this procession, in this parade of soldiers, always a demonstration of strength from the king, we have a big automatic crossbow built on top of an elephant. Well, it was put on top of an elephant. If you want, you can call this an ancient tank, if you want. Cool, isn't it?
The exquisite Buddha faces are believed to be made in resemblance of Jayavarman VII, but it is argued that the third eye on each of them could mean that these beautiful engravings could represent Shiva instead.
Linga.
Curiously, there's a linga, the phallic-shaped object aiming to represent Shiva and the eternal cycle of death and rebirth. It is the only relevant Buddhist-made temple. However, its religious purpose was changed to Hinduism by the following rulers.
Or the Rao in the Khmer tradition is depicted among more or less everywhere, both in Hindu or Buddhist temple, still nowadays actually. It has a strong symbolism. It has a fiery face in an attempt to scare evil forces. But in modern tradition, it has a meaning of rebirth, of the cycle of life, death and rebirth as well. The colonnades. See, colonnades usually were circular in the pre-Angkorian period, but during the period of the Jayavarman VII, we see some octagonal or hexagonal colonnades. This is really a characteristic of this time, this period. The temple of Bayon is divided in different levels, and strangely, while you get towards the top, it feels like the corridor getting narrower and narrower, and this made think that made archaeological, the historians believe that maybe the upper part wasn't part of the initial plan, the initial architectural plan of the temple, but actually maybe was built right after it. And that unfortunately the upper part of the temple is not accessible to the public since 2020 due to restoration, also because as you can imagine, millions of tourists coming in and out every day for years and years. It's not the best thing you can do in an old temple, obviously. But the upper part, the central tower, represents also the Mount Meru, yes, which in the Hindu mythology is the center of the universe, as well as the Hindu mythology. This temple, created by Jayavarman VII, so in its capital, the Angkor tomb, was the center of the Khmer Empire. We've been kicked out of the temple, so yeah, our journey, our visit, finished here, but this is not finished yet. We have 3 days to explore this super famous historical site.
It was amazing to have the opportunity to visit such an incredible temple. The next one will be the tap room, famous for the giant roots taking over part of it. See you in the next video.
Did you see this?